two ways about it when you think. Oh, take two. There's no two ways about it when you think. As we saw recently at those celebrations over here in the United Kingdom for the coronation of King Charles III, it's interesting, isn't it, when you look, because Princess Charlotte really is a lady who knows her own mind. Of course, a lot of people noticed that she came to prominence with the ongoing battle at said wedding in 2018 for Meghan Markle. Meghan herself highlighted the fact that, in fact, it was Catherine who made her cry and had to come to Windsor to apologise with a bouquet of flowers. But what's interesting to note, as all of these stories basically develop and unfold, and then the truth naturally comes out at some point, I find it interesting to note this in particular of how exactly Princess Charlotte became, shall we say, embroiled in the naming of Princess Lilibet. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you as ever. Nice way, by the way, of your comments regarding the ice creams that we all used to like. Yes, a lot of people remember the vanilla brick, as we used to call them, two lumps of wafer and an absolute huge block of vanilla ice cream. Do you remember that? They always melted and went down your sleeve. The fab lollies, people forgot that they were actually named that, based on, of course, the brilliant series by Jerry Anderson. Proof that everything is always related back to some branding. We just call it differently now, don't we? Some people might say this particular thing was very clever of Harry and Meghan because, as we now know, they decided, whichever way you look at it, to name their first daughter Princess Lily or Princess Lilibet in honour of our late monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. Now, Lilibet, for those that don't remember or don't recall, was the pet nickname given to her and only used by senior members who, knew her that well and felt that they could in fact call her that. Of course, there was a lot of sort of strange situation, wasn't there, regarding the naming of Princess Lily, because apparently they hadn't bothered to ask Her Majesty the Queen. And this went back and forth, and both Harry and Meghan fudged the issue on many different occasions, never actually saying whether they had permission or not. But apparently the idea stemmed from this. Way back in 2015, as we know, we welcomed Princess Charlotte into the world, and she naturally was given, amongst many of her names, the name of Elizabeth. And many people thought this was absolutely delightful, seemingly because it was a nice nod to our wonderful monarch. Apparently, a conversation, as ever, we have to say, allegedly ensued the very early stages of friendship between Catherine and, of course, Meghan. This was at the point when they were seemingly kind of getting on, albeit not that much. What was interesting to note, though, was that when they decided exactly how they were going to name said child, they didn't want to call her Elizabeth, and apparently Meghan suggested to Harry and no one else what a delightful tribute it would be to simply name her Lilibet. Harry, of course, not necessarily thinking too much outside the box, thought this was wonderful too. Now, I have this on very good assurances that nobody bothered to check in with Her Majesty the Queen. So for many people who've written many things about this particular story, I have it on very good authority that the whole basis came from a very simple chat with Catherine, who said that she was absolutely thrilled, the monarch, of course, of having her name included in Princess Charlotte's list of names. This, as I say, inspired Meghan and Harry to come up with their own personal tribute. Many people said that they should have asked permission. It was a shock to Her Majesty the Queen. It was a shock to senior members of the British monarchy. But apparently, according to Meghan, it was all Harry's idea. Seemingly not the case. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.